Hello. So we haven't really put too many videos out lately, sorry, but there hasn't been a whole lot going on towards our ultimate goal. Right now we're pretty much just working, and we cut back on a whole bunch of different bills and stuff, paid off a bunch of stuff in New York, so we pretty much only owe things here, and credit card debt and stuff like that. So slowly trying to pay that off and get out of debt and save up money, so then when we do sell our house in New York, we can just buy some land out here and then start going from there in our goals. So pretty much just trying to save money, so we're going to give you some tips and tricks and things to do to try to save money.
So first thing that we do is we don't eat out. Once in a great while we'll treat the girls and we'll go somewhere cheap, but we do not eat out, we eat at home. Since I have celiac disease, that kind of works out better for me anyways, but for everybody else, they just sacrifice, and we save a lot of money by not eating out. If you want to see how much money you spend eating out, I highly recommend you make a log for a month. Every time you eat out, what day it is, how much you spend, add it up at the end of the month, and you would be shocked at how much money, or at least we were, at how much money we spent eating out. So piggybacking off of that, I always shop what's on sale. So I pick up the store flyer, I look through it, mark down anything that I think looks appetizing that I can turn into a good meal. That is a really good deal. I plan out my meals, I do a whole meal plan, and then I make my shopping list based on that meal plan. So I have everything I need for a meal and nothing extra. That seems to work out really well for us. I can utilize my leftovers because I planned ahead, so we don't have any food waste, really. These little store coupons that print off too are a huge saving, and I know $1 off seems like nothing, but they add up. If you've got $10 off coupons, that's $10 a month, or $10 a week for a month is $40 a month, which is a lot. Stuff like that adds up quite a bit.
And just buying generic stuff and cheaper items, not the store name brands and whatnot, and buying things like this. It's a generic rip-off. Actually, not even really rip-off, I don't think. Just generic, big bulk cereal. And it lasts a lot longer.
I think I paid $5 for this bag, and it's at least 2 big boxes of cereal, which would normally cost at least $8, $9, depending on what cereal it is. So every tiny thing like that adds up to a whole lot.
Definitely buying bulk is cheaper too, and then as long as you can store it, like you got all your Tupperware, so we can buy bulk things and store them.
So you agree that Tupperware was a good purchase?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you need quite so much of it.
It was a good investment.
Another thing you can do, sometimes it's actually cheaper if you can go to like a local farmer's market. You can get some cheap produce that way and things.
It's better produce anyways. Tastes better. You're supporting local. Definitely better. One thing that's really benefited us is we set up a budget and we stick to it. Every time we get a paycheck, our paycheck is allotted into our budget. We always leave a little bit of extra spending money. Otherwise, we find we dip into other things, because there are some things we do like to splurge on once in a while. But setting up a budget, sticking to it, and adding a savings into your budget makes a huge difference.
Definitely.
For entertainment, local. Most things in your hometown are going to be cheap or free. We live in a small town. There's less than 800 people here year round, and there's always something inexpensive or free to do here. Most places have newspapers or like a post area where they can post things that are local and free and cheap.
The freer the better.
Yeah, and if it's local, you can walk or save on transportation, so you're not traveling a far distance.
Or if you're like me, I like to go hiking and just being out here and this, you can just go hiking. It doesn't cost you anything. Just grab some water, some snacks, and go for a hike.
Absolutely. So beautiful here. Maybe not today because it's raining, but that's very, very rare. Another way to save money is date night in. We don't go out on dates, maybe once or twice a year for our anniversary and birthday. But even sometimes that we do at home. We'll go buy some fancy steaks or something and cook it here together, which actually is kind of fun. We'll watch,
romantic.
yeah, so romantic. We'll watch a movie on our own couch in my pajamas, which is better than going to the movie theater, in my opinion, anyways. And then we don't have far to go. We can crawl right to bed if we've had one glass too many of wine. Right?
Which happens more often than not.
Well, when you're date night in, that's one of the luxuries you have. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So, also with the kids, we do family game night. That's something that we have incorporated into our normal weekly routine. We have a few family game nights a week, which is awesome because our kids are so far apart in age. They're over 7 years apart. So there's not a lot of things that they can enjoy doing together. So we find a game that we can all enjoy playing together for the most part. And
sometimes we fight over what game we're going to play.
It all works out in the end. And it's a good way to spend time together. And it's free. I mean, we've had these games, some of them since I was a kid, and we still have so much fun with them. So that's something that we brought back that will never get old. At least in this house, it'll never get old. We do family movie nights, especially around holidays. Halloween time's here, so we'll do some scary movies. Christmas time, we'll do holiday movies, and then we just like watching family movies together. That's something we've always enjoyed doing, popping a big bowl of popcorn, which costs pennies, versus the $10 popcorns you're going to buy at the movie theater.
And especially if you're buying bulk popcorn, so you can pop in it yourself instead of buying the packaged popcorn, which is still not too expensive.
Mm-hmm. It tastes better when you pop it yourself. It lasts longer. I don't know. Little things like that. Also, for clothing, I mean, we've got 2 kids. They grow like weeds. They're always growing through their clothes. We like to shop the out-of-season sales. So as soon as the winter time's done and all their coats go on sale, I buy coats for next year. They may or may not fit, but if it's cheap enough, I'm willing to splurge and guess. So I do that an awful lot. I've done that ever since our girls were little.
And my stuff a lot I get through thrift stores and garage sales.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big secondhand
hand-me-down things.
You'd be surprised, even the new stuff you can find with tags on it at thrift stores or on online garage sales. And they're cheap. They're cheap. Even the stuff that's used, if it's gently used, I don't mind wearing something that's already been broken in and is incredibly affordable.
A lot of times you can find really cool all sorts of different t-shirts at thrift stores, which is really cool. I like retro t-shirts and weird different t-shirts.
Yeah, and that's definitely a cheap way to go when you're talking about clothing, because that can be pricey. We also minimize what we have for clothing. I don't have a closet full of clothes I don't wear. I have a few pairs of pants that I wear, a few shirts that I wear, a couple dresses, and that's pretty much all I keep on hand, other than my pajamas. I value my pajamas. But we try to keep it to a minimum. That way we don't have a lot of stuff that we have to store. And it's just cheaper.
Laundry and washing, more things to wash.
And honestly, if you have a huge closet full of clothes, how often do you wear the clothes that are in it? How many times do you go find something you haven't seen in years and try? I just don't do that. I don't see the point in it. Can you think of anything else?
No, I think
that's all I've got.
So, yeah. I mean, if you guys can think of anything else that might be able to help, leave them down in the comments. Can help someone else out, or maybe even help us out, like save a little bit more money. So I hope you guys like some of these tips. I mean, some of them are kind of you might have known already. And like again, we're gonna try to keep putting videos out, but if there's not really much that we're doing, what am I gonna videotape? Videotape. So old.